Hello, good people. I'm Chris, and today I want to talk about something that quietly separate those who grow from those who stall. It's not doing more, it's knowing when not to act. There's pressure to always do something, right? So, we live in a world that rewards movement, clicking, trading, responding, reacting, right? But most unnecessary mistake comes from one place, and that is acting without need. We don't want that to be us, right? Not every moment requires a response. Not every opportunity requires participation. If you've been living life for any length of time, we are we are aware of that, right? We've experienced things in life when we acted sometimes when there wasn't really a need to do so. But lack of wisdom, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, our emotions caused us, dictated us to do so anyway, right? All right. So remember, not every moment requires a response. Not every opportunity requires participation, right? So sometimes we need to exercise restraint because restraint is not inaction. Restraint isn't laziness, it's discipline with awareness. In investing, restraint looks like not forcing a trade, not resizing out of emotion, not chasing what you don't understand. In life, it looks like saying no early, protecting your time, keeping margin in your schedule. Restraint preserves clarity, and clarity, my good people, is a good thing. Why this matters financially. Every unnecessary decision introduces a risk. Fewer decisions, when chosen wisely, often produces better outcomes. Now, I don't know about you, but I like better outcomes and I like them on a continual basis. And guess what? In life, you can have better outcomes on a continual basis. You can get so stuck into better outcomes, months go by before you realize you haven't had a negative outcome in quite some time. It happens, but you have to position yourself. You position yourself by the way you utilize this thing that's tied to the top of our neck. Okay, let's look at why this matters. Every unnecessary decision introduces risk. Fewer decisions, when chosen wisely, often produce better outcomes. When you wait for clarity, when you respect your plan, when you protect your capital, you're not falling behind, you're positioning yourself well. This past week in the markets, as I've been looking at the markets, I usually check it out in the morning, just ahead of pre-market. Depends on how my schedule is going, how my day is going. I will delve in and out during pre-market. Might take advantage of some opportunities if I see them, right? Um, then after the market open, I will usually I'm a little tied up when the market opens. So about 30 to 45 minutes after the market open, I'm gonna look in, see what's going on, see if there's any opportunities presenting themselves for me to take advantage of. Now, couldn't always do that. Once upon a time, I was just looking in after the market open to get familiar with the overall market, see how things move, how things ebbs and flows. But over time, as I practice taking profit along the way, when I'm up bigly, up nicely in a position, take some capital off the table and leave it in my buying power, leave it in my dry powder. Once I started doing that and started doing it on a consistent, regular basis, and saw the opportunities that I was able to take advantage of by doing so, all of that came from growing my capital, protecting my capital, and growing my financial knowledge. So it's not some place you have to get overnight, but you need to be mindful of it. You need to be aware of it So when you start practicing it, you'll know how to put it in place, and you'll know how to capitalize on it, take advantage of that knowledge, of that experience, of that 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 wealth of knowledge that's just flowing between your ears, right? Between your head, between your brain housing group. Okay, I need to close out here because I get caught up when I get to talking, right? Growth doesn't always come from action. Sometimes it comes from restraint, from choosing not to move until it matters or until it matters most. Fewer decisions, better results, right? I think about this past Sunday and how the Browns closed out their season, right? How Shadur Sanders closed out his season. Uh, I'm not gonna go on. I'm not gonna say no further, but I'm reminded of that when I think about fewer decisions and better results. Uh, choosing not to move until it really matters. So, with that being said, if this helped you slow down and think clearly, please hit that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs permission to pause. Walk in wisdom, my friend.